Hey there, this is Usability, and today we are making a cake bag from leather. As always, we start with our pattern, print it out, cut it out, and transfer it onto the leather, and cut out that as well. We're using 2.7mm or 7-ounce wedge tan leather here, and we need a little bit of thinner wedge tan leather for the roses. After cutting, we can bevel the edges. Next, we want to moisten our leather to prepare it for embossing. We also need to punch some holes, so that's what we do now. Please note that on these side walls there's one edge, the upper edge, that has 10% more spacing in between the sewing holes. So chances are you won't have the perfect setup for this, so just use a single punch. Also need some round holes, so we punch those now. These 10mm holes are only required if you also use the same fastener system as I do. Now we want to trace all the gray lines from the pattern on the leather, and then use a beveler and other stamping tools to emboss along them. For dyeing, I always like to use my airbrush, and I start with a pink base coat and then some purple over it, mostly along the edges and in a low angle to create some shadows. Also, using some acrylic paints to paint white over these, not a baker, so let's call them just sugar coat. And also we want to add some leaf metal in pink. Put the glue with some water and just paint it on the surface. The difficult part is to get the leaf metal on there because it's super light, but theoretically you have to only put it on there and it sticks. And then wipe away the excess. Also note that you will find the glitter afterwards everywhere. Also, we put on some leather finish to protect the paints, dyes and the leather itself. Also put it in the edges so you can use the moisture for burnishing. Additionally, I used some antique gel here after 2 coats of finish to put into these cracks to darken them and make the embossing pop more. And afterwards I also add another coat of finish to stick the antique gel in there. And that's the thing that we do for all the pieces. Here also the bottom, the top, the edge opening, these closures, and the roses, and these D-ring attachments. To get the roses into shape, because they don't really look like roses now, moisten them a bit and then roll them from the outside inwards, just to get them in the rough shape. Then put them out again and we start for real. We start from the outside and towards the inside. Every second hole has to connect, like the first and the third, and the second and the fourth, and so on. So you just add one hole to the one side and then the next hole to the other side, and keep this going until the very end, and the rose will shape itself. To connect the roses to the top, just go with the needles through 2 holes and then also back again once completely through the rose again, just to be sure, and then tie a knot on the bottom of the top side. Next, we keep on going with the side wall. This is a round piece, so we want to connect them to itself. But before we do this, we would want to add the closures, which in my case are these lock fasteners, which are easy to install, easy to open and close, and very reliable. Just put them in, screw them on, done. Also, we want to attach the D-ring, or in this case O-ring attachments for the shoulder strap. Now we close the circle of the side wall with sewing. Then we want to sew on the opening side this edge on. And the thing is, as mentioned before, the sewing holes on the top are 10% further apart from each other. And to force them together, we have to moisten it. And the idea here is to, by forcing them together, that we create this bend that I just did with hand to make this a little easier, to create this like this. You see, it's slightly more warped to the center, and that's exactly the look that we want. This is done all to the top edge, and now also we want to have the top side sewn on the rest of the half here in just this very same way. And note here, I did some stitching already, but this is purely decorative to have it all around once. Next, we adding in the other side of the closure with the closure strap, making sure the holes that we marked still fit. Then we punch the holes and set the closure in there. And set the closure straps with rivets as well. Last, we need to add the bottom. And here it's similar with the bending but different. We just want to bend it upwards. So we can then sew it from the outside, which makes it so much easier. Just go with the needle through from the outside and sew it all the way around. Just like this. It's quite simple here. But you can see that the edge is not perfectly looking. Like we have this little bit different, no matter how perfectly we cut it out. So what we do, we cut away the edges, sand it, bevel it, re-dye it, and re-burnish it as well. And this is it. The cake bag is done. I use this as a test piece for the roses and for some other techniques that I want to find out how they look, like the flowing of the sugar stuff that is going over the edge. And I think it turned out quite nicely, and it's also probably one of the most practical bags because it has quite some space in there. I hope you enjoyed this as well. Be sure to let me know what you think about it. Check out this pattern and my others as well, and see you guys next time. Have a great day. Maybe you've noticed but these attachments are not perfectly the right direction. I should have twisted the head a little bit more to the side. And because of this, the exact position for all the holes, how they have to connect, is in the pattern very detailedly described. So you don't mess this up like me. See ya!